Hey everyone, I'm Matthew. Welcome to Popitics Episode 2. Popitics is your one-stop shop for pop culture, pop, K-pop, and political news. Join me, Matthew, every week as I delve deep into the most important news of the week without the doom and gloom of regular news reporting. Want to get into pop, K-pop, pop culture, or politics, or already know way too much information? This is the perfect place for you. Before we get into this episode, I want to say that this podcast reflects my own personal opinion and has a comedic tone at times. Opinions expressed are solely my own and do not express the views or opinions of my current, former, or future employer. We have a jam-packed episode for you today, including Blackpink tour dates, JENNIE's new release, Yellow Jackets Season 3 premiere, Tate Mc Rae's newest release, Sinn Féin and the White House, and Hamas and Israel. All sources for all news stories will be in the description and notes of the podcast. So on Spotify, it'll be down below, and on YouTube, I will add links in so you can quickly access the news articles I am using. There is a few serious topics today, so I will start with the good, then do the bad, then do the good, then do the bad, like I usually do. Now this is episode 2. Did I think we were going to get up to 2 episodes? No, but here I am recording this. This has been recorded on Sunday the 23rd of February, so the day before this episode goes out. I thought this gives us more time in case there's updates, so I don't have to pop in like I did last week. So we are going to start with K-pop, and then we will go from there. Blackpink has finally announced their 2025 world tour dates. Finally, after months of teasers and various statements from YG Entertainment, they have finally announced the Blackpink tour dates, which I am so excited about. The 2025 World Tour will be the first time Blackpink has gone on the road as a group since the Born Pink World Tour, which ran from 2022 to 2023. That trek landed the K-pop group on the Billboard's 2023 Top Tours chart, having sold almost 703,000 tickets over 29 shows during the period of eligibility. The trek grossed $148.3 million US. The group first teased the upcoming tour on February 5th, but at the time there was very little information. So as we all know, Blackpink as a group re-signed their contracts in October, but did not re-sign their solo contracts. So they've been doing various solo activities, covering a lot of them today, but that is like Rosé, Jisoo, JENNIE, and Lisa's solo activities, which have been very fun to watch. Now I will go quickly through the 12 or so dates. Let me just check. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 dates from 2025 to 2026. So in July 2025, they will be playing 5 dates across the world. On the 5th and 6th, they will be playing Goyang Stadium in Goyang, South Korea. On the 12th, they will be playing SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, California. On the 18th, they will be playing Soldier Field in Chicago. On the 22nd, they will be playing Rogers Stadium in Toronto. On the 26th, they will be playing Citi Field in New York. Then kicking off their Europe dates, in August, they will be playing Stade de France in Paris on the 2nd. On the 6th, they will be playing Milan in the Ippodromo. On the 9th, they will be playing Estadio Olimpica in Barcelona. On the 15th, they will be playing Wembley Stadium in London. Then back to Asia in Tokyo on the 16th to the 18th of January. They will be playing Tokyo Dome. So that's a lot of dates. There's a lot of room between the August dates and the January dates. So we're not sure if they're going to add any more in. I'm really annoyed, not at the girls, at YG, because my dissertation is due 7 days after the Wembley date. And I was planning to go to London this year, 3 weeks after my dissertation was due. So yeah, I kind of hate YG right now, but maybe they'll add another date. I'm hopeful, but also a lot of these are big stadiums, which are hard to get for multiple dates at a time. So in the comments, will you be going to Blackpink dates, or will you be saving money like everyone else and not paying exorbitant concert prices. The tickets are going on sale on the 27th of February through Live Nation and Ticketmaster, and I think it just depends in what location you're in. In the 3 dates I was looking at just for fun, so that was the Barcelona day, the Milan day, and the UK day. I didn't see any like pre-sale. I just saw general on sale. So good luck getting those tickets, and hopefully you get them and not scalpers. All of that information there was from billboard.com. JYP shares update on Stray Kids Felix's health after minor car accident. JYP Entertainment has shared an update on Stray Kids Felix's health. On February 16th, JYP announced that Felix had suffered a fracture after being involved in a minor car accident the night before. However, later that day, the agency followed up with an update stating that after an MRI scan, it was determined that the fracture line seen on the initial X-ray was a childhood injury, and at the moment there was a pinched nerve near that area. Hello, this is JYP Entertainment. We would like to update our fans once again on the health status of Stray Kids member Felix. After the accident, Felix was taken to a hospital near the concert venue, where he had an X-ray examination and was noted to have a fracture. This was the information we announced to our fans. In order to ensure swift action, we first visited multiple emergency rooms, but as the accident happened late at night on a weekend, some places were missing medical staff and inspection itself took longer than usual. Therefore, we weren't able to notify our fans immediately after the accident. Later on, following the medical staff's opinion, Felix was transferred to a higher level general hospital where he underwent an MRI scan and was examined by specialized faculty. Upon additional examination, it was determined that the fracture line seen on the initial X-ray was a childhood injury, and at the moment there was a pinched nerve near that area. Therefore, we'll be keeping an eye out on our artist's recovery process and will go through necessary treatment based on the medical team's findings. Our artist's health and recovery are our top priority, and we are working closely with the medical team to provide him with the care he needs in the best possible environment. We sincerely apologize to our fans who must have been startled by the sudden news, and will be doing everything we can to ensure a quick recovery of the artist. Thank you. So that was a statement there from JYP Entertainment in English. I believe this was announced on February 16th, and Felix had to sit out of Skiz 5 o'clock, their fan meeting of that day. And you can see online, I don't know, I think it's called a skizoo, whatever you call it. It's like, you know, them like animal versions of like, you know, the idol that like multiple groups have now. But like Bang Chan was like holding him up, and it was the cutest thing I've ever seen because like them characters are so like cute. I think it's like a duck basically, but it was adorable. But we wish us here at Popitics, aka me, myself, and I, wish Felix a happy recovery. So I will keep going on with the K-pop news. Just a fair warning, this is a very Blackpink heavy news week, so it will be a lot about Blackpink. So, Rosé of Blackpink has withdrawn her membership from the Korea Music Copyright Association, KOMCA, according to an exclusive media outlet report on February 20th. Last year, on October 31st KST, Rosé requested for the termination for her membership agreement with the KOMCA. 3 months later, her membership agreement was formally terminated. All copyrights associated with Rosé's music will be managed by her American label, Atlantic Records. Moving forward, Atlantic Records will manage Rosé's copyright internationally through organizations such as the American Society of Composers, Authors and Publishers, and Broadcast Music Inc. This is the method used by most foreign artists. Regarding Rosé's move, an industry insider remarked, "There is no reason for Rosé to manage her copyright separately in Korea and the United States, as she'd have to pay twice the fees." Rosé is the second musician after Seo Chal-ji in 2002 to withdraw from the Korea Music Copyright Association. In my opinion, I think this is like a good move from Rosé, as she is still a K-pop artist, but a lot of these Korean music associations, in my personal opinion, are a bit corrupt, but that's how the music industry is in Korea, in the US, in the UK, in Ireland, and everywhere. So yeah, that's a bit more about Rosé. So Lisa of Blackpink has dropped the full track list for Alter Ego, her upcoming studio album. So there is 15 tracks, and she appears in the camera in like teasers as 5 alter egos: Roxy, Sunny, KiiKii, Speedy, and Vixie. So according to the track list, Lisa has even more exciting global collaborations. So in addition to her global collaboration in the pre-releases, Born Again featuring Doja Cat and Rae, and New Woman featuring Rosalia, Lisa has joined hands with Future for Fuck Up the World, Megan Thee Stallion for Rapunzel, and Tyler from When I'm With You. I will now go through the full 15 track list. So number 1 is Born Again featuring Doja Cat and Rae, then Rockstar, then Elastigirl, then Thunder, then New Woman featuring Rosalia, then Fuck Up the World featuring Future, Rapunzel featuring Megan Thee Stallion, Moonlit Floor, When I'm With You featuring Tyler, Bad Girl, Lifestyle, Chill, Dream, Fuck Up the World, Vixie solo version, and Rapunzel KiiKii solo version. Now I think with certainty we can say that Blackpink in the last year and a small little bit has released more music as solo artists combined than the entirety of Blackpink in 8 years. Let's sit with that for a second, shall we? Why do you, I just don't get why you would have such talented artists like JENNIE, Jisoo, Lisa, and Rosé. Like, how can you waste the talent of these girls? And I will say, their solo music, I love every single one of them. Immortage is on repeat. Rosie is on repeat. Alter Ego will be on repeat. Ruby by JENNIE will be on repeat. Repeat. Don't mind me today. So I will move right on to another member of Blackpink, you may ask. Yeah, okay, we're moving on to JENNIE's new release, Extral, featuring Doechii. Now, I love this song. The music video is so good. Rapper JENNIE is back. But I will go through some comments now on YouTube to give you kind of a broader picture of what her fans are thinking at the moment. So user at savage_blink_2004 said her rap in this MV is so energetic. Clock it, I agree. Like, it's so good, her singing and like rapping are so good. User at user56 said Doechii and JENNIE collab is crazy. I never thought that. This was like the last artist I thought JENNIE would collab with, but I'm so glad. Doechii's music is so good. And like the music video is incredible. I am a media nerd, and this is like one of the best music videos I've ever seen. And then user at Lisa_HMZ said, are we talking about their duo? It's just iconic. Like, I love it. I love the entire thing. I love the music. I love the lyrics. I love the beat. I love the dancing. I love the outfits. Like, there's a purple outfit here that I'm just looking at in the music video right now. And it's like, there's no arms. Like, it's like gloves and like a t-shirt and then shorts and then like socks, but where you would see skin is like see-through, and I just know that was expensive to make. Like, the VFX team on this did an incredible job, and like not a lot of people I think appreciate them. If it was whether it was the director, the editor, the producer, or just a VFX artist, like the VFX in this are incredible. So this news was just a small bit too new to be going in my last episode, but I want to cover another one of the releases, so we have to do the debut. So on February 16th, KiiKii released the song I Do Me. They're a new girl group from Starship Entertainment. We'll see, the music video is like very 5th gen, clean girl, but they're like doing their dance in the Alps in a mountain range. And I'm like, whoever thought of that, genius. Because like, to be honest, like, you don't need expensive stuff to do a music video. Like, they had one camera, 2 cents, and a dream on the top of a mountaintop, and I will say it's very good. There's like a scene of them on a hay bale, and I'm like, props, because that actually probably would have been cheaper than like a set. So yeah, so they released I Do Me. I'm going to read out some little comments here and there. So, such a dreamy song, I love it. They're going to be very popular. I can feel it. I'm loving the fact that this was filmed in New Zealand. Oh, I knew that mountain was familiar. Now, I didn't read out them users there because there's a string of letters and words, and I don't want to butcher it. But also a lot, I will say there's a lot of Korean comments, and I don't want to translate them because when you translate Korean using Google Translate, it can make some weird things. So then they are debuting on February 24th with that song I Do Me. That is the title track, but it released a few days ago. So they will debut officially tomorrow when I'm recording this today when it releases. So I will pop back in if there's any new news or any new music videos or anything. But they have released in the meantime a new song called Debut Song on the music video. And I would say this is the weirdest music video I've ever seen. It's the vibe of filmed on an iPhone using iMovie or probably filmed on a really expensive camera. But it's the tune of Happy Birthday in Korea. The Happy Birthday in Korean. But they're showing graphics of so they're on a stage in this empty place. And it just shows the Inkigayo logo, the music bank thing, demo. It's so funny. And it's a really good music video. Now, I don't stand this group because of the age range of the members, but if you understand them, go right ahead. But it's filmed in London, I can tell. It's either filmed in London or filmed in Manchester, or somewhere with really old architecture. Very good, and I think these girls are going to do very well. But also, on the other hand, Starship, give WJSN a new comeback. Please. 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 Please, they win Kingdom 2, Queendom 2, and you don't do anything. Ridiculous. Okay, we're going to move on before I get really, really angry at, Starship Entertainment. Hearts to Hearts has officially debuted. So they are SM's new girl group. Very similar age range, and I would say concept is kind of similar to KiiKii, but KiiKii is a bit more weird. Now, I am recording this when the song is not out, so I will pop back in tomorrow with an update. I'm back on Monday morning. It's 1 o'clock right now. I'm just after watching Hearts to Hearts, so they released their music video, The Chase, which is their debut. My kind of review on it is that, it's a good song. I really like it. It's kind of a mix, I would say, between aespa's Sound, FX, and Red Velvet, very SM coded. Kind of the style, I would say, is kind of 5th gen, kind of the clean style that New Jeans popularized, but people online were saying they were copying New Jeans, but we are not getting into them allegations here because there is a lot of them. So I really like it. I like the dance. I like the song. The music video is very interesting. The shots are very nice. It kind of gives more FX than anything, which kind of is the way SM goes. They go girl group that's weird, girl group that's fine, girl group that's weird, girl group that's good. So it's kind of, SM style 100%. I will be supporting the group because of their maknae being born in 2010. But it's an 8-member girl group, and I think they're going to do very well. And let's hope SM don't put Red Velvet in the dungeon. Or aespa, because I wouldn't be surprised by them at this point. So yeah, that's the review of Hearts to Hearts. Now let's get into some of the audience reactions. So, user at Momo Aku said H2H, which is their acronym name, is so unique. And they really are so gorgeous. At ALLE or now said their vocal tones are so impressive and soothing, as expected from SM artists. Pretty entitled to the girls. Looking forward to more of their activities. I am definitely standing them. And then lastly from user at M_Kaylee. We are so proud of you, Carmen. Congratulations for your guys' debut. Hearts to Hearts. Carmen is the Indonesian member, and I believe she is the first Indonesian member of a girl group or any group, I think, from the big 4 or big 3 at least. So yeah, that was The Chase. Now, Let's get on to the next bit of news. Zerobaseone has released their new song Blue. So again, this is a song that has released today, but I am recording this tomorrow for you, today for me, on the 23rd. So I will pop back in with some audience and my reactions. Okay, everyone, I'm back after watching the Zerobaseone or ZB1 music video. I just have some comments here to say. At Pretty Trash 321 said, "This is the prettiest ZB1 music video yet. The visuals are insane." Yeah, I have to agree. It's like, there's some moments where they're like in a massive house. I think it might have been like maybe recorded on like a tropical island, maybe Jeju Island, but I'm not 100% sure. But it's like kind of, I think, an augmented reality, virtual reality concept. And I think it's very good. ZB1 always has good music videos. There's, I think, one of my favorite songs of them yet. It's very good. Not the usual, sometimes like boy group noise music. Yeah, very fresh concept, very 5th gen. So yeah, and then we just have one or two more comments. User, give me a second, these are all in Japanese or Korean. At that underscore Pookie underscore 000 said, "I'm not even exaggerating. This is so good. In fact, they go after real music, not just some catchy purple patches. Also, Jiwoong Soski voices a need." And then at QUESAINTE said they could give Jiwoong short lines and screen time and still manage to grab everyone's attention like that. Main character behavior. A lot of these are just Jiwoong like, "This is great. This is amazing." Somebody said they're a Dive so fan of 5, but this is great. At Vanilla Snow Golem said, "This might be their most beautiful MV yet. I'm crying." Then there's a whole, like, more comments, a lot in Korean, a lot in Japanese, because I do believe that, like, there's a lot of Japanese fans of Zerobaseone and Kepler, because their shows had, like, Japanese people in them. So I think that's about it. Yeah, let's get back to the news. I will go through some very, very small K-pop news, just to give you an overview of what's happening this week. So NJZ, formerly New Jeans, featured in the new Spring 2025 Calvin Klein campaign. I think it's one of their big, big campaigns since them saying they're leaving Adore saying they're not leaving them, and then Hybe getting involved and everything else. The Seraphim has announced a new March comeback, Hot, set to release on March 14th. So we knew it was going to be hot because in Easy there was a song called Crazy, Easy, Hot, or was Easy, Crazy, Hot? And yeah, we all knew it. And then lastly, EXIN has unfollowed their company, Escrow Entertainment. NMIX have announced their new EP, FE304 Forward. So this is the third EP in this series. So there was FE304 Break, FE304 Stick Out, and then we have FE304 Forward. So this is an EP. So this is their 4th EP. And I'm super excited. I love the FE304 series. I think they're doing incredible. But JYP, please just give them, I swear to God, please just give them a full album. It would be incredible. We also have, I didn't announce this last week, but Yeji of ITZY will be debuting her solo on the 10th of March. So in about 17 days. And I will announce when that officially comes out. Lastly, we have Seulgi, the second mini album. So Seulgi of Red Velvet are releasing her solo album on the same day as Yeji, on the 10th of the 3rd, 2024. I think that's all the new releases. That is all for K-pop this week. This will be one of the longer segments, I will say, today, just because so much has happened this week and not much has really happened in like the film TV space. But we will go into Irish politics now. I have 2 articles here about Irish politics, so if you are not interested in Irish politics, you can skip past the section. I won't be mad because a lot of this is a bit intense today. So, Sinn Féin will not attend the White House's St. Patrick's Day event. Sinn Féin will not attend the White House for St. Patrick's Day events next month if invited by the United States government, the party has said. In a post on social media on Friday, Sinn Féin leader Mary Lou McDonald said she had thought deeply about the issue in recent days and had spoken to people in and outside of Sinn Féin. She linked the decision to comments by US President Donald Trump threatening the mass expulsion of the Palestinian people from the Gaza Strip. Northern Ireland's First Minister, Sinn Féin Vice President Michelle O'Neill said she would also stay away from the White House for traditional St. Patrick's Day events. The DUP, or Democratic Unionist Party, described this decision as reckless, as it would confirm its party member Deputy First Minister Emma Little Pengelly would attend St. Patrick's Day events in Washington, D.C. if invited. DUP leader Gavin Robertson questioned how Miss O'Neill's decision fitted with her often repeated pledge to be First Minister for all. Explaining her decision, Mrs. O'Neill said, "In the future, when our children and grandchildren ask us what we did while the Palestinian people endured unimaginable suffering, I will say I stood firmly on the side of humanity." Miss McDonald later said she supported Micheál Martin going to the White House and attending a bilateral meeting with Mr. Trump should he be invited, as the Taoiseach had a unique position to represent the Irish people in government. "I think the Taoiseach will go. I think the Taoiseach has to go," she has said. She said Mr. Martin should take the opportunity to address matters around Palestinians directly with great force with Mr. Donald Trump. Responding to the Sinn Féin decision, Mr. Martin said there was a need to double down on engagement with the US administration, both politically and with the President. "We have an obligation to protect the livelihood of many, many people in this country and to engage and discuss and profile the level of Irish investment in the US. Companies like Ryanair, who buy very specifically from Boeing, Smurfit Westrock, Glanbia, to just name a few. From an Irish perspective, open and free trade is the optimum objective because it helps grow our economy. We are a small, open economy." Speaking to reporters in Mallow, County Cork, he said, "Sinn Féin does what it always does. It engages in politics. I have a responsibility to the country." Regarding the Middle East, he said that we need a consolidation of the Gaza ceasefire, we need a massive surge in humanitarian aid in Gaza, and we need to create a political pathway to a two-state solution. That's the Irish view on the issue. Reacting to Sinn Féin's decision, Simon Harris has said, "Well, it's always easier to just not show up, isn't it? What's much more productive is to show up, work hard, and actually engage with people on complex and important issues." So I'm not going to say a lot on this topic because everyone is entitled to its own political views. I will say that I'm looking down, the Irish Times have used, I will say, the worst photo of Mary Lou McDonald I've ever seen, which I think is a very, very big disservice to her. Now we will go one more time to the Irish government. Yay. Opposition parties in Ireland have united to condemn what they describe as a cynical attempt to manipulate speaking time in the Dáil, as the row over Michael Lowry's regional independent group has reignited. In a joint statement, the 5 leaders of the main opposition party said a plan put forward by the government to resolve the ongoing row is utterly unacceptable and will not be tolerated. The row, which initially kicked off last month when Mr. Lowry moved to set up a technical group that effectively have given the group opposition speaking time. Opposition parties reacted furiously, pointing to the comments made by Mr. Lowry that his group would support the government on good and bad days and for 5 budgets. They argue his group cannot be allowed to access the opposition privileges as he is committed to supporting the government. A Dáil Reform Committee is due to meet next Wednesday to consider the issue, but a deadline of this Wednesday was set for submissions on the matter. Government Chief Whip Mary Butler proposed the creation of a new Dáil time named Other Members' Questions. This would allow for one brief question about a matter of topical public importance to the Taoiseach on 2 days per sitting week and will be rotated between relevant groups and parties. In their joint statement, the opposition leaders said this is yet another cynical attempt to manipulate speaking time in order to grant special privileges to TDs who were part of negotiating the programme for government and clearly and unambiguously support the government. These deputies are not they are not unaligned, they are government TDs, the statement says. The combined opposition is clear. You cannot be in government and opposition at the same time. It is just, I think, a ploy to try and take more time away from the main opposition parties, which is purely in the Irish Constitution undemocratic. I think it's ridiculous. It's just like, it's not a simple political opinion, it's matter of fact. If we're done with Irish politics, somebody celebrate somewhere. We're going to move on to film next. So DC's Clayface lands Speak No Evil director James Watkins. After many months of searching, Speak No Evil helmer James Watkins has been chosen to direct the feature based on the Batman villain, which has a script from horror maestro Mike Flanagan. Sources say that DC's co-chief James Gunn met Watkins Thursday for a final presentation that led to the not to nabbing the gig. A deal will now be hammered out. Clayface was first introduced in 1940 and known for his ability to shapeshift. Sources say the film is budgeted at $40 million and is a Hollywood horror tale centered on a B-movie actor who injects himself with a substance to keep himself relevant, only to find that he can reshape his face and form, becoming a walking piece of clay. The movie is due to shoot later this year and is meant to show the breadth of DC material, from big budget superhero flares to Superman to the one side of the spectrum to lesser known characters in projects that are modestly budgeted. The Batman director Michael Reeves will produce Clayface along with Lynn Harris and DC studio bosses Gunn and Safran. The film has a September 11, 2026 release date. There is no yet casting for the film, though Gunn and Safran has said actors who work in animation on DC studio projects will play the character in live action as well. Watkins is coming off Speak No Evil, the James McAvoy starring Creepfest that remade the 2022 Danish psychological horror thriller, which generated strong reviews and was profitable at the box office. The helmer has the credits for making grounded horror films, making his debut with the gripping Eden Lake. He followed that up with 2012's The Woman in Black, a ghost story that starred Daniel Radcliffe. That's what we have there. Clayface is coming soon in 2026, and I hope that they can the whole thing. Also, there's a photo here that the Hollywood Reporter, who originally reported this as an exclusive, has a photo of Clayface from the animation and the director, and they look suspiciously alike. That's not even me like being extra, that is just me being real. So next we're going to cover world politics. We have two stories to cover today, one from Palestine, Israel, and one from the United States of America. Hamas condemns Israel's decision to postpone release of 600 Palestinian prisoners. Israel says release is delayed until the release of next hostages has been assured and without the humiliating ceremonies. Hamas on Sunday condemned Israel's decision to postpone the release of the Palestinian prisoners. The militant group says Israel's claim that the hostages' handover ceremonies are humiliating was false and a pretext to evade Israel's obligation under the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's decision reflects a deliberate attempt to disrupt the agreement, represents a clear violation of its terms, and shows the occupation's lack of reliability in implementing its obligations, a member of the Hamas political bureau said in a statement. I will say Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal wanted by the International Criminal Court. So why aren't we saying that? The Irish Times. Anyway, Israel said earlier it was delaying the release of hundreds of Palestinian prisoners it had planned to free the day before until Hamas met its conditions, underscoring the fragility of the Gaza ceasefire agreement. Mr. Netanyahu's office released a statement in the early hours of Sunday saying that Israel was waiting to deliver the 620 Palestinian prisoners and detainees until the release of next hostages has been assured and without the humiliating ceremony. Matt said ceremonies do not include any insult to the hostages, but rather reflect a humane and dignified treatment of them, adding that the real insult is what the Palestinian prisoners are subjected to during the release process. The Palestinian group cited the tying of hands of Palestinian prisoners and detainees and they're blindfolding and threatening them to not hold any celebration for the release as examples of humiliation at the hands of Israeli authorities. Hamas has made hostages appear on stage in front of crowds and sometimes speak before they're handed over. Coffins with hostages' remains have also been carried through crowds. Israel's announcement, which also accused Hamas of repeatedly violating the month-old ceasefire, came after Palestinian militant group Hamas on Saturday handed over 6 hostages from Gaza as part of an exchange arranged under the truce. So, I will say on this whole situation, it is very telling that when Hamas releases one, and I will repeat, one hostage, they usually, in response, release 620. How can you have that many prisoners? They're hostages. Nobody should be taken as hostages. What, 6 people get released and you're meant to release 620? 620? How does that calculate? How are governments standing by when this is happening? It makes absolutely no sense. It shouldn't be, oh, you release a hostage. Here's 100 times the hostages. It just shows the amount Israel has captured over the years. And I know that has got very heated in the last 2 minutes of this, but it's just very telling that they're releasing that many hostages over that. I don't support Hamas. I do not support Israel. I support the innocent Israeli and Palestinian citizens. Now on to not really lighter news, but a bit lighter than being an Israeli hostage. So Musk says government workers must detail their work week or lose their jobs. Elon Musk deepened the confusion and alarm of workers across the federal government Saturday by ordering them to summarize their accomplishments for the week, warning that a failure to do so would be taken as a resignation. Shortly after Mr. Musk's demand, which he posted on X, civil servants across the government received an email from the Office of Personnel Management with the subject line, "What did you do last week?" This missive simultaneously hit inboxes across multiple agencies, rattling workers who've been rocked by layoffs in recent weeks and were unsure about whether to respond to Mr. Musk's demands. Officials at some agencies, including the FBI and the State Department, told their employees to pause responses to the email. Mr. Musk's mounting pressure on the federal workforce came at the encouragement of President Donald Trump, who has been trumpeting how the billionaire has upended the bureaucracy and on Saturday urged him to even be more aggressive. In his post on X, formerly Twitter, Mr. Musk said employees who failed to answer the message would lose their jobs. However, that threat was not stated in the email itself. Please reply to this email with approximately 5 bullets of what you accomplished this week and CC your manager, said the Office of Personnel Management message that went out to federal employees on Saturday afternoon. The email told employees to respond by midnight on Monday and not to include classified information. The email was received by workers across the US government, including the FBI, the State Department, the Environmental Protection Agency, the Office of Personnel Management, the Food and Drug Administration, the Veteran Affairs Department, the Center for Medicare and Medicaid Services, and the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, according to copies seen by the New York Times. Some agency leaders welcome Mr. Musk's move. Doge and Elon are doing a great work. Historic, we are happy to participate. Ed Martin, the interim U.S. Attorney for Washington, D.C., who Mr. Trump has nominated to run the office on a permanent basis, wrote in a message to his staff. But in the sign of the upheaval and the potential legal and security issues caused by the demand, officials at some federal agencies told their staff to hold off on responding and await further guidance. Among them was Kash Patel, the new FBI director. The FBI, through the Office of the Director, is in charge of all review of our review process and will conduct reviews in accordance with the FBI procedures, Mr. Patel wrote in an email to staff obtained by the Times. When and if further information is required, we will coordinate the responses. For now, please pause any responses. For file and rank workers, the latest move by Mr. Musk underscored a climate of instability and fear inside the government. One staff member at the National Institutes of Health, who spoke on the condition of anonymity out of fear and retaliation, said she was shocked by the message, which she said left her with a sick feeling in the pit of her stomach. When she found out more of the context, she said she messaged a colleague. They're terrorizing us. As confusion and alarm spread on Saturday evening among workers over Mr. Musk's command, he said on X that there was a low bar to meet it. An email with some bullet points that make any sense at all is acceptable and should take less than 5 minutes to write. In response to a threat of dismissal if workers did not comply, the American Federation of Government Employees, the largest federal employee union, said it would challenge any unlawful terminations. However, Kelly, the union's president, accused Mr. Musk and Mr. Trump of showing utter disdain for federal employees. It is cruel and disrespectful, he said in a statement, to hundreds of thousands of veterans who are wearing their second uniform in the civil service to be forced to justify their job duties in this out-of-touch, privileged, unelected billionaire who has never performed one single hour of honest public service in his life. The union told workers that it strongly believes the office personnel management did not have the authority to direct employees in this manner of its email requests and advised them to seek guidance from a supervisor. The demands raised significant legal issues, experts said. The message questioning workers' output repeated a tactic Mr. Musk used to cull the workforce in his social media company. He repeatedly drawn inspiration from his 2022 takeover of X, then known as Twitter, as he works to overhaul the federal government with his so-called Department of Government Efficiency. With the support of the Trump administration, Mr. Musk had ordered layoffs across the federal government and effectively shorted several agencies. Elon is doing a great job, but I'd like to see him be more aggressive, Mr. Trump said in a post on his social media site. Mr. Musk quickly accepted the challenge. All federal employees will shortly receive an email requesting to understand what they got done last week, Mr. Musk wrote on a social media post on Saturday, saying his actions were consistent with the president's demand. Failure to respond will be taken as a resignation, he added. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment about the email to federal workers and whether workers would be fired if they did not reply. The Office of Personnel Management, which sent Mr. Musk's deferred resignation offer to employees with the subject line "fork in the road" last month, sidestepped the question. Now, my whole thing about this is that I don't understand how an unelected official could wield this much power. Like, it's dangerous. Like, he's running the biggest social media site on the planet, like one of the biggest, one of the worst algorithms in the world. But like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. I don't know how Congress or the House of Representatives has not tried anything, but it's becoming a real problem. A real problem. Now, this podcast is going to be a bit longer than last week, so I've had to cut out some stories, but they will still be in the notes below. So next, we're going to talk about TV. So Yellow Jackets has hit streaming highs with season 3 premiere. The third season premiere of Yellow Jackets drew about 2 million viewers in its opening weekend, nearly all of them from streaming. The series gathered 2.03 viewers worldwide in 3 days after its February 14th premiere on Paramount Plus with Showtime. That's a slight improvement on the season 2 opener, which just came in about 2 million. The tally includes the show on-air premiere on February 16th, but that only accounted for about 92,000 viewers according to Nielsen figures. That leaves about 1.94 million viewers via streaming, which is a record for any episode of Yellow Jackets. The season 3 premiere streaming service grew about 58% versus the season 2 opener in March 2023. Showtime has said that the premiere also had the most social interactions in the show's history, with a more than tenfold increase in engagements versus the season 2 premiere. The season 3 premiere continued to raise questions about the show's 1996 timeline, at which a high school girls soccer team is stranded in the Canadian wilderness after a plane crash. Although co-creator Ashley Lai told The Hollywood Reporter that reminder that the season will help viewers learn a lot more about what they did out there. While co-creator Bart Nicholson and Jonathan Lisco are the showrunners of Yellow Jackets. They executive produced with Drew Cummins of Creative Engine, Jeff W. Bird, Sarah L. Thompson, Amini Rosa, Brad V. Aragon, and Lionsgate Television produces the series. That sounds very interesting. I've never watched Yellow Jackets. One of my friends is a really, really, really big fan of Yellow Jackets, so I'm glad to see that it's like doing really well. We don't have much pop news today, as not a lot of artists have released music outside the K-pop world, but there's like one or two articles that we're going to talk about now. So, Tate Mc Rae has released her song Revolving Door off her third studio album, So Close to What. Now, I'm after listening to this right now, and it's so good. I like the beat, her dancing is really good. I love that we're kind of getting this like Britney-esque moment with Tate Mc Rae where her dancing is part of her act. Like, I don't care if this like woman has to do a dance break and then like for 30 seconds of a song. She's an incredible dancer, and I'm glad she's able to bring, you know, her two arts together. Also, she's doing some insane choreography in a shirt, a bra, some underwear, and heels in like a set of revolving doors. And like there's dancers doing whatever. She's doing like pirouettes. Oh my god, like she's literally like dancing to the floor and then straight back up. High kick. This is like an incredible music video. So here we go. Tate Mc Rae said, user Tate Mc Rae said so close to what the album is out now. Crying face emoji, stop emoji. That was herself. Next up, Emma Nope said again. I felt like it's a moment in the song, absolutely iconic. At BBMATO_ said, the way this was filmed in heels, for all that opening choreo sequence, jaw is 6 feet under. In Lady Gaga news, Lady Gaga is to perform a free concert on Rio's Copacabana Beach in May. In 2017, she cancelled the performance at Rock in Rio for medical reasons. Lady Gaga has confirmed that she will perform a free concert on Rio de Janeiro's Copacabana Beach on May 3rd. I've been dying to come perform for you for years and was heartbroken when I had to cancel years ago because I was hospitalized, Gaga said Friday on social media. In 2017, she cancelled the performance at Rock in Rio for medical reasons. At the time, she apologized and said that she needed time to focus on her health. I am now coming back and I feel better than ever, and I am working hard to make sure the show is one you will never forget, she added. Gaga's concert on the beach follows Madonna's free performance there in May. The Queen of Pop drew an estimated 1.6 million people to Copacabana Beach, one of the world's most famous shorelines. Rio de Janeiro's Mayor Edward Pass, who was re-elected last year to a 4-year term, has pledged to bring a Mayor International concert to the city every May. I don't have tickets for the Gaga show. It's open and free, he joked on X, formerly Twitter, while sharing Gaga's announcement. Now, I think that's all of the news we have today. So as I said before, all of these sources will be linked below in the description or show notes. Thank you so much for watching. I'm sorry about the audio only version. This podcast is probably going to stay audio only just until I'm done my dissertation. So in a few weeks, like maybe like 6 months, or like whenever I have the energy to get up and do it. As a video, I will, but for now it's only audio. Leave below any questions you have for the podcast, any news segment ideas. If news is slow one week, I might start doing Reddit stories. So if you have anything interesting, please drop it below. This is Matthew Patrick Sharkey, and this is Popitics. See you next Monday. Also, the time for release will now be 6 p.m. GMT on Mondays. That's it. See you later. Bye.